Well, folks, we're back. We got the NFL, and we're in the stretch drive now. This is the most exciting time of the year. This is when there's real drama. There's real meaning to every game, and believe me, these teams are coming to play. And the game we're talking about, the Eagles at the Giants. The Giants have a little bit of revenge here, but that isn't going to play into it because these teams are playing for the playoffs. They're playing for the division. You got Michael Vick, who is a rating monster for television in the NFL. This guy plays, everybody tunes in. I think they set a record on Sunday night for the highest ratings in history of the NFL Sunday night game. They get the highest rating because Michael Vick was playing. The guy's dynamite. He's been playing great. Andy Reid's been complaining that they're not calling the shots on him when he gets hit like they would if it was Brady or Manning. It's probably true, actually, because the league does protect those two guys. Michael, they don't want to lose him because when they lose him, not only does the team lose him, but the league loses him too. So they might start calling some shots. The Giants have a ton of injuries. Today it was announced that Steve Smith is out for the season, and their other wide receivers are dinged up, so you don't know who's coming to play this week. The game is the Giants 3 or 2.5. It's probably going to end up about 2 because you're going to see a lot of money on the Eagles. The total is 46. Both teams have been trending over. It's a huge game in New York. Probably the weather's going to be probably in the 30s with some snow. Scott, what do you think?
Well, first of all, we had the Giants on Monday, which was one of our easier wins when they went up against the interception waiting to happen or the mistake waiting to happen, Tavares Jackson. You could call Brett Favre the same thing, but he didn't play. The collapse of the roof, by the way, they said there were, 17 inches of snow in Minneapolis that caused the game to be postponed. Hey, I got a text from Brett Favre. It was really only about 4 or 5 inches. but anyway, it's not mine. I stole that from somebody. But anyway.
I'm talking to Jen Sturgeon again.
That's what Brett says about the text photo, too.
But as far as this game is concerned, by the way, I was in the Far East one time, and I saw toilets from a different angle. It was a rough time. Here all week, guys. Philly and the Giants, Philly's owned this series as of late. They've won 5 straight in this series. Last time they hooked up earlier this season, though, the Giants did out-yard them, but they made mistake after mistake, shot themselves in the foot, lost the football game. Now, Jim mentioned all the injuries that the New York Giants wide receiving corps has suffered. I like him here, though. I think they're going to catch the Eagles, who are, by the way, 5-1 since their bye week and averaging 34 points per game since that bye week in those 5 wins. We had Philadelphia this past weekend. Here's the thing that bothers me about the Eagles, and of course we didn't cover that spread. Late in the game, John Kitna pulls off a 4th and 8 and runs for 12 yards, and they go on to score that backdoor cover. What bothers me about Andy Reid, I know you want to keep Michael Vick healthy, and he did it late in the game when they were on a drive trying to eat up some time. But when you've got a 3rd and less than 5 and you're the Philadelphia Eagles, why in the heck do you not roll Michael Vick out to either side because his arm is so strong and he's such a good decision maker now? Roll him out with the option to run or pass. And if they do that little bend, that little run to the outside where it looks like he's going to take off and he does the little stop like you see in some college offenses when they run the option, quarterback will roll to his right and he'll start to look like he's going to line of scrimmage. Stop. Safety bites, corner bites, dumps it over the top to his tight end, gets 8 yards. It's as simple as that, but he won't do it with Michael Vick, the best quarterback at doing this in the NFL. It almost cost them against the Dallas Cowboys. And I know they want to keep him healthy, but come on. You got to play to your players' strengths. And they could have wrapped up that game quite a bit earlier if they would have tried that a couple of times on 3rd and short. In this particular game, guys, I'm going to take the Giants. I'm going to lay the points. I know they're nicked up, but I think they're in a good spot this week.
Well, the game. What I like here is the under. And I know that there's a few things that go into this. One, I don't think it's going to be really bad weather. It's not projected to be. But it's still, it's still not the nicest place to play football. And to me, the Giants' injuries mean they've got to keep things conservative. Run the football, keep the ball out of Vick's hands for sure. I think this is going to be an extremely intense game, even though both teams are almost certainly in the playoffs. So you're not talking about a situation where there's desperation on both sides here. I still think it's a huge rivalry game, and it's one of those push comes to shove, just nasty in the trench wars that you'll get in a divisional battle in December. So I'm going to go with the under in the game, Alan. We'll figure out who wins tomorrow.
I think Dave read my script. I mean, I agree with him right down the line. This is going to be a low-scoring game. Yes, Philadelphia's played 8 of the last 9 games over the total. The one under against the Giants. They scored 44 points in the game. before. The over-under in that ball game was 47.5. It's now come down to 46. A lot of folks might think that there might be value in playing the over, but as Dave just mentioned, it's a much different game than a few weeks ago. This is now in the bitter cold. It's going to the temperature is going to range from 26 to 35 degrees. There's a 30% chance of snow, so that's going to be big. Jim, I just think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I like this under the total.
Well, you know what? When you talk about the weather and snow, it brings back a memory of last week, a very painful memory. I had good information about the weather in Chicago. I'm going under 45, under 44, under 43. I'm just betting. And at halftime, I knew I was dead. I mean, Brady comes out. The guy loves the snow. Now, I don't know how bad the weather's going to be yet in New York for this game. But Michael Vick could probably do the same thing. I mean, he certainly has the talent to do it. I can't play this game under at this point. These teams can both open it up. Both of these teams run the ball very well. And they're at the top of the league in running the football. And when you can run the football like that, it opens up the passing game. The big question for me on the total is the offense for the Giants. I'm not too worried about the offense for the Eagles. The offense for the Giants can be detrimentally affected if those wide receivers can't play. And they do have almost all of them nicked up. So I'm going to wait till game time to make a decision, but I'm leaning to the over in the spot.
Well, let me just say something real quick about that New England game. You know why Belichick and the New England Patriots dominate in the snow? Besides the fact that they've got a great quarterback. The bottom line is when it's raining and it's slick, or it's snowing and it's slick, who has the advantage on the football field? The wide receivers.
Sure,
yeah.
So here's Chicago running the ball between the tackles every other down, and here's New England having the receivers cut all over the place, throwing passes like it's bright and sunny out there, and you've got Chicago defenders slipping and sliding all over the place. I've also got to say, my own personal come on, man segment, when Chicago stopped New England on that opening drive, they get the ball at their own 25 or 30, they're just going right down the field, and they're doing little dump offs, they're running the ball, but they're being creative, and they get to the New England 40. It's 3rd down and 3 or 3rd down and 4. Come up to the line of scrimmage. New England's reading what they're doing. They crowd the offense. They crowd the line of scrimmage. They even have basically piled up everybody to the right side of the line of scrimmage. And guess what? Cutler, who had 15 seconds on the clock to either call a timeout or audible out of it, runs the play. They get stopped for a 1-yard loss, and the momentum completely changed. And then it was like, you know how you're sitting in your car sometimes after you had a real spicy Korean meal, and all of a sudden your butt cheeks tighten up because you've been eating that spicy food? It's a toilet humidor. It looked like that's what Lovie Smith and his staff did on the sideline.
Had the total bowl.
Yeah, it looks like Lovie Smith. That's what they did on the sideline. All of a sudden, the butt cheeks, they got real tight. They got real anal in their play calling. They got very conservative, and I'm going to leave it at that. But that's my come on, man segment this week.
I think Scott would be a lot of fun at a party if you fed him some tequila and loosened him up because he's way too tight on the set right in front of national TV. You're way too tight. You got to loosen up a little bit.
Okay, I'll try that next week.
We're going to come back. We've got another great NFL game to talk about.
All right, the Bulls are underway, but there's still plenty of NFL, and I've got a big play today in the National Football League that I'm giving away completely free of charge. It's my NFL total of the year, and there's no cost to this game whatsoever. All you need to do is call 1-866-841-1665. You are going to the winner's circle in a big way with an easy over and under winner. My NFL total of the year, zero cost. 1-866-841-1665. Make the call now and get set to collect.
Hi, everybody. Scott Spreitzer from Smash Mouth Sports NFL Game of the Year weekend as we also kick off the College Bowls this weekend. It's going on Sunday. It's a 1 p.m. Eastern Time kick. My NFL Game of the Year 2010, 3-0 the last 3, winning by an average of 20 points per game, 10-3 lifetime with my NFL Games of the Year. That and my College Bowl package, all yours for just $49. We closed last January's bowl season on an 11-4, 73% winning run. You don't want to miss out. Get it all. NFL Game of the Year 2010, College Football Bowl package, all for just $49. All you have to do is call 1-866-896-1627, 866-896-1627.
Okay, we're going to try to avoid some off-color analysis by Scott or
you started
Al. It's all on that side of the table. Over there. We don't ever do anything like that. I mean, the whole thing. We're not going there. We've got a great game to talk about. The Jets. Everybody said this team was in the AFC. This is they're favored to win the the Super Bowl or, all that stuff, preseason. Rex Ryan, we're the best team. A lot of bravado, a lot of braggadocious stuff going on. But when you look at this team, since the bye week, when they had a bye week, they've been very marginal, a couple overtime victories. And when you look at their wins, they've had one win over New England. That was early in the year. And then they proceeded to get 8 more wins against teams with a collective record of 33-69. Now, don't get excited because I said 69.
Yeah. Wow.
Mark Sanchez is a disaster. He makes terrible decisions.
Is he ever?
I mean, maybe at this point in his career he should still be on the bench learning the game. Now, granted, when he had the offense going and the running game was really going, he was better. But now that the offense isn't doing so well, Tomlinson's a little older, Green has slowed down a little bit, you're putting a lot of pressure on Sanchez to perform. He's throwing a lot of interceptions, missing a lot of open receivers. He may not be ready for prime time. Sorry, guys. He may not be ready to lead the Jets to the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, even though they're banged up, Roethlisberger has his off-field issues, but this guy is a champion. You cannot stop this man. No matter what you do to him, he continues, he wins, he makes great decisions. He is a winner. And that's the way I look at this game. The total is 36 on this game. We haven't had a total that low all year. Dave, what do you think about this game?
Well, the Jets are going to be without their secret weapon. Because Sally the Foot,
yeah.
Supposed to be you.
It was his knee, but that doesn't sound as good. He's a Jersey guy working in Jersey. His name's Sal. Gotta have a nickname. Sally the Foot. Okay, he's a character out of The Sopranos.
He used his knee.
I know, but doesn't sound. Sally the knee doesn't sound so good. Sally the Foot sounds better.
I like Sally the Foot.
See?
Yeah.
So, I'm taking executive liberty here with the nickname. Anyway, nice move by that guy. Are you kidding me? I couldn't believe it. What an embarrassment to the Jets. I do agree that he shouldn't have been fired, but boy, did he ever get fined. I mean, the guy's making like $80,000 a year. He got fined $25,000, and he's out of work for the rest of the season. So that's a pretty tough penalty.
He's working at Wendy's.
Yeah.
He's got a job.
And doing what? He's not. I mean, I got to
kneeing the customer.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's it. Hey, here's your order, buddy. Sally the knee. No, Sally. I don't know. I'm doing all this because I have no idea what's going to happen in this football game. I'm not laying this many points with Pittsburgh because they're just not playing blowout style football. Nobody wants the Jets now, so naturally that's in the number. I don't want the Jets because they're a mess. Jim mentioned that Tomlinson is looking like an old guy again. I mean, he was great early in the season, had this burst of energy, he was breaking tackles. He's not, so the running game is bogged down. He's making a ton of mistakes.
And you can't run on Pittsburgh.
No, you can't run on them anyway. And the Pittsburgh running game isn't doing anything. Mendenhall's okay, but he's not exactly busting things wide open right now. I can't play the total at this point because there's no value in it. I mean, 36, come on. I mean, if there's one turnover, there's a score, the game's going over. So I'm screwed on this one, guys. I don't know. And you know what? You don't have to play every game anyway. There's games I like. This isn't one of them. Maybe you guys have got something.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Jets here, so I'm glad you don't. It'll, keep the number, possibly 6 points or higher. I'm a technical handicapper. I do things a little bit differently than these guys. And what I like about this ball game is that unrested favorites of -3.5 points or more off back-to-back wins. If the last game was by more than a touchdown at home, those teams are now 11-41 against the spread versus a non-division foe off back-to-back losses if they lost their previous game at home. I know that's a mouthful, but 11-41. but it's 11-41. I'm going to take the point, Scott.
I'm not a big. I respect the technical things, but if you keep looking back, then all of a sudden it gets closer to 50-50 too many times because I don't have the database.
That goes back 31 years.
Because I don't have the database that obviously you have, and I'm a matchup guy at heart. But here's the thing: first of all, Sally the Foot should have claimed restless leg syndrome. At least I would. But as far as this particular football game is concerned, I think the line would have been 4 2 weeks ago. The couple of bad showings by the New York Jets and by Mark Sanchez has factored into this line, as Dave said. Now you're getting 6. I'm like Al. Here you go. You got angles guy and you got matchup guy, and we both converge at the Jets plus the 6 points. I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be decided by a field goal. You're right about Ben Roethlisberger. The only person who stops Big Ben is himself as far as he's concerned. I've talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers over the years that we've done these shows. No organization, as far as I'm concerned, knows themselves or has a better identity of themselves better than the Steelers. Going all the way back to the Chuck Noll years, Noll, Cowher, Tomlin, they just know what they want to do when they come out on a Sunday afternoon, and sometimes it looks ugly, but they get the job done. But in this one, I think the most they'll win by is 3. I took the New York Jets plus the points.
To me, it's a very, very tough game. When you talk about matchups, I don't think either team's going to be able to run the football. And the weather in Pittsburgh is probably going to be nasty. It's going to be cold. I know they get snowstorms coming in there off the lake. If they're not that close to the lake, but it carries over through Cleveland, Ohio, into Pittsburgh, and off into Buffalo, all the same weather front. It can be nasty there. It can be windy. Roethlisberger is built for this. I mean, he is tough.
Well, the other thing also, Jim, is they've got an open end, at Heinz Field, so it can really get nasty, especially with field goals. You can't make a field goal.
You're from there, right?
Yeah, and you got the 3 lakes, or 3 rivers right there, and field goals are going to be impossible at the one end.
Get off the game a little bit. We were talking before the show, and Al, I got kudos to Al. Last week he was 21-5 betting. I mean, this guy, a tremendous week for you, and I'm sure your customers did extremely well as well. This game, even though the total's 36, and it's crazy to say this, I'm actually leaning to the under. I just don't see how a kid, Sanchez is just not confident anymore. He's being criticized in the paper, and it's tough in New York. When you're bad, you get criticized, you get ripped. And they are on the downslide, all that bravado, everybody's saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl, Rex Ryan, all that stuff. He is not going to be able to throw the ball against this team. They're not going to be able to run the ball against this team. But Pittsburgh's offense is hurting as well. They got offensive line issues. And I really see this game to be very low scoring. I'm not sure about the point spread. Probably lean a little bit to Pittsburgh. But I'm going to go definitely with the under. We're going to come back. We're going to have some best bets to talk about.
Hi, I'm Al McMorty. I've been on fire the entire season on my Vegas strip moves. 49-20 this season, 26-5 in football, 23-15 in basketball. And this week we're featuring our Vegas strip move college bowl game of the year. Plus, I'll throw in a week of football and basketball absolutely free on our Vegas strip moves. It's just $29. Call toll free 866-896-1628. Call right now, get our Vegas Strip Move Bowl Game of the Year, plus a week of football and basketball thrown in for free. Only $29. 866-896-1628. That's 866-896-1628.
There's just 3 weeks left before the playoffs start, and some teams are ready for the final stretch, and some teams are ready for the offseason. Take advantage of 3 of the strongest releases on the board this Sunday that are guaranteed to cover the number, or the rest of the NFL season is free. That's right, a guaranteed 3-team parlay for just $15 when you make the call to 1-866-841-1655. That's 1-866-841-1655. Call now. And don't forget, for free plays each and every day, just text WINNER to 313131. That's WINNER, WINNER, to 313131, and free plays will be sent to you immediately. That's 2 great ways to cash in this weekend. Text WINNER to 313131 or make the call to 1-866-841-1655 for my 3-0 Sunday.
My best bet, the under in Philadelphia, New York Giants. Your best bet, get on board for my Vegas Strip Moves week of service. Our Vegas Strip Moves this football season, 26-5. Nothing's hotter in the entire country. Call toll free, 866-896-1628. You get our Vegas Strip Move college football bowl game of the year, plus a week of our Vegas Strip Moves in both football and basketball. 866-896-1628, only $29. 866-896-1628. Call now.
I like that play, Al. It's my best bet as well on the games we talked about today, the Giants and Eagles, to stay under the posted total. But that's not the total that stands out to me on today's board. My NFL over and under, my NFL total of the year goes today, and I've decided to give this game out completely free of charge. 1-866-841-1665. It's that easy. Make one phone call, you get my NFL total of the year free. 1-866-841-1665. Scott?
I like your play, your best bet. Also, my best bet is going to be on the New York Jets plus the points over the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what a package going on right now at Smash Mouth Sports. A couple of weeks ago, we cashed our mismatch game of the year in the NFL. This weekend, it is my 2010 NFL Game of the Year. We're 10-3 lifetime with these plays. We've won our last 3 in a row regular season games of the year by an average margin of 20 points per game. Blowout City. Get the NFL Game of the Year for just $49, along with my college football bowl package from start to finish. Everything in between, you don't want to miss out. $49 gets it all. And by the way, we closed last bowl season on an 11-4, 73% winning run. You don't want to miss out. NFL Game of the Year, college football bowl package, all for $49. All you have to do is call Smash Mouth Sports, 1-866-896-1627, 866-896-1627.
My best bet here on the show, the Jets and Steelers to go under the posted total, which is low, but they're going to go under. This is the stretch drive in the NFL season. I've had a really good NFL season last Sunday. Who gave you a double winner on Sunday night and the total on Monday? All easy winners. This week, this is what I got. I got 3 big games on Sunday, all guaranteed, or the rest of the pro season is free. And it's only $15 when you call 1-866-841-1655. I'm red hot. I'm going to make money this holiday season. Bowl games, pro games, it doesn't matter. Make sure you make this call. $15, that's right. 3 big games on Sunday. Parlay them, play them singly, I don't care. They're going to win. All guaranteed, or the rest of the pro season is free. 1-866-841-1655. Next week, we're off. We're going to be back here in 2 weeks. Everyone out there, have a wonderful Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.